Former Clippers player Patrick Beverly, removed from the Clippers a few seasons now, chimed in on the big Dame Lillard trade that everybody seems to be talking about and the media can't get off of right now. And, I don't know. I don't really believe him and Dame Lillard have the best of history between each other. Just because, I think Dame Lillard just doesn't like anybody on the Clippers. I don't know how he feels about Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi doesn't talk, but I think he has something against Paul George and definitely maybe Russell Westbrook as well. And I'll say along with them, I'd say Patrick Beverly, just because Patrick Beverly can be an irritant, especially if he's not on your side or on your team. And when Patrick Beverly reacted to the news, he just said, hey, losing Drew Holiday is big. And that's all I'm going to say. And, him saying that says a mouthful. You could take it how you want. He might be sending a shot to Damian Lillard. I personally think that it really could be. I personally think that it is a shot sent towards Damian Lillard, basically saying that Damian Lillard is not enough. You need somebody like a Drew Holiday who plays the game with a little bit more fierceness on both ends of the floor, two-way player, and who has won a championship and who helped the Milwaukee Bucks win a championship. Because I think they were down Chris Middleton that year, if I believe, or he played or he got hurt or something like that, where they still found a way to win and they beat the Suns in the finals. But even if Middleton did play, I mean, from what I remember of Drew Holiday, he played better. I can tell you that. But either way, my point is, it just goes to show how much value Drew Holiday has. I mean, he's a role player. He's not a superstar, but he is a very, very good two-way player. I mean, probably one of the best in the league, honestly. You know what I'm saying? So losing somebody like him, it's going to take a lot out of the organization because he's not only somebody who can knock down big shots when you need him to. He's not only somebody who can guard the other team's best player, but as I said before, he is a two-way player. He plays both ends of the floor, something Dame doesn't do. And as I said before, I've told people around me, Dame Lillard is a great player, but Dame Lillard is a flashy great player. His game doesn't really equate to winning, or at least I'll say this much. I'll say this much. Let's see if it equates to winning now with Giannis, which really is not going to be but so much difficult because Giannis is so dominant as a player. Only thing Damian Lillard have to do is just do what he usually does, and his team is going to win anyway because Giannis is so dominant in the paint. And really, they balance each other out so well because Giannis doesn't have a jump shot. Damian Lillard does. Damian Lillard can't dominate in the paint, but Giannis can. And Giannis can play defense, which Damian Lillard can't. So really, when you think about the two players, they're kind of opposite, but you know how opposites attract. So they really actually, gel in that. I mean, they really balance each other out in that way. So, I mean, that could be a really good thing for Milwaukee. And I'm not saying they can't win a championship because, I mean, they got enough firepower to win a championship. I'm not going to sit here and say that, but I think former Clippers player Patrick Beverly has a great point. Losing Drew Holiday is huge because, like I said, when you got a player that can play both ends of the floor and can guard the opposing team's best player, that takes pressure off of Giannis because Giannis doesn't have to guard the opposing team's best player the whole game because he can just switch and rotate back and forth with Drew Holiday, who is a really good perimeter defender and a lockdown defender at times itself. And now you have somebody like Damian Lillard, who makes up for the offense that Drew Holiday didn't have. But defense wins championships, offense sells tickets. That's always been the notion in sports. So when you think about offense and a team scoring a lot of points, I mean, there's been many teams throughout the years that scores a lot of points. But when you don't lock down and when you don't make the necessary defensive plays at the time or at certain times in the game when it really calls for it, for it to be made, for you to actually get the victory and, get over that hump past the other team, you don't win championships. And that's just the way it is. Now, like I said, Giannis is, going to be in the defensive player of the year category, probably along with MVP. He's going to do that. Maybe even Dame Lillard might be in the MVP category or situation with Giannis being his teammate. But at the same time, losing Drew Holiday is huge because you don't have that guy. You don't have one of your main guys to put on the opposing team's player and give him a run and, slow him down a little bit while you try to, gain your confidence throughout the game. Hypothetically, if Giannis is not playing that well or something like that, where you could recover. But now the Milwaukee Bucks are just going to have to outscore everybody because somebody like Drew Holiday makes up, that's taking a lot away from their defense. It really is. It's taking a whole lot away from their defense. You see what I'm saying? And when you look at the league now, the league is basically, it's a point guards league. You know what I'm saying? It's been that way for the last few years. It's a shooters league, and shooters are point guards all day long, shooting guards. So you have to have somebody in the 1 and 2 position to really defend. You see what I'm saying? To really, give yourself a chance to win championships. And now the Milwaukee Bucks doesn't have that. So, I mean, like I said, I still think they're going to be good. I still think they can make the finals possibly, maybe might even win it, because Giannis is a very dominant player. And, Dame Lillard is, Dame time. Enough said right there. But I do think Patrick Beverly has a point. And honestly, if they don't win the championship, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to look back at what Patrick Beverly just said in regards to, missing Drew Holiday, that's missing a whole lot. Damian Lillard's good, but Damian Lillard's not a winner. Damian Lillard is a superstar that has a lot of stats and put up points and flashy. And see, this is the thing I'm talking about and this is why I think, Patrick Beverly's comments really have a lot of validity, because when you look at the situation, take Damian Lillard versus Giannis. Giannis is in a small market, on a small market team as well, just like Damian Lillard was. Matter of fact, Milwaukee is a smaller market team than the Portland Trailblazers. So Giannis found a way to take his team and win a championship, whereas Damian Lillard puts up a lot of points. He hits a lot of game-winning shots, but it doesn't amount to anything because he never wins anything. He's never won an MVP. I can remember times where Damian Lillard was complaining to the media why he wasn't an all-star, and he should have been. And I think one time he got into the all-star game because somebody got hurt. Whereas you look at somebody like Giannis, it's no debating whether he's an all-star. He's in there 99% of the time. He's a starter. So, I mean, this is what I'm saying. It's differences between guys who can really, play the game and have a high level of efficiency, who could play at an elite level, but it's also a difference. It's a difference between that and a guy who's at a more of an elite level that can help you win a championship. That's the reason why only very few have championships and a whole lot of players don't. And that's what I'm saying. You have to ask yourself, is Damian Lillard really a winner? I mean, is he? You know what I'm saying? Because he's been in Portland all these many years. He hasn't had all the greatest talent, but neither has Giannis. Giannis had, like a lot of people probably thought Drew Holiday was an afterthought. A lot of people didn't even know Drew Holiday was as good as he was. You know what I'm saying? Until he got on the Bucks and, got with Giannis. And a lot of people knew who Drew Holiday was, but he was kind of like going towards that journeyman type stage in his career, earlier in his career. Even though I think he was on the Sixers a little bit, and then he went to New Orleans, and then I think he ended up on the Bucks or maybe another team. But this is my point. He wasn't really somebody with a name like that to a lot of people around the league, not like a Damian Lillard, you know what I'm saying, or somebody like that. And then you look at the other players. He got Bobby Portis and Brook Lopez is good. Don't get me wrong. Brook, he's definitely, always been good. But this is my point. He doesn't have players on his team much better than what Damian Lillard had. So this is my point. You got to ask yourself, is Damian Lillard a winner? Does his game equate to winning, or is it just flashy, good to putting up stats and look good on SportsCenter? And that's what you got to ask yourself. And that's what we're going to see when it comes to this situation with Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis. So that's why I think, to correlate it with what, Patrick Beverly said, it makes a whole lot of sense. It's never good to give up a valuable player for a star player. You know what I'm saying? Or at least in this situation, I'll take that back. It's definitely good to give up a role player for a superstar. But there are times, especially a situation like Milwaukee, specifically for this team, I don't know if they should have gave up Drew Holiday in a trade just to get Damian Lillard. I really don't know if they should have did that in this situation. Maybe on another team, depending on their situation, maybe. But the Milwaukee Bucks, I think they should have found a way to keep Drew Holiday and maybe let go of, somebody else, Bobby Portis, and I think they let go of Grayson Allen, players like that. But I mean, I just feel like they should have found somebody else to let go instead of him. I'd rather them probably let go of Chris Middleton, to be honest with you, rather than Drew Holiday. So, but like I said, sometimes when you lose those key valuable players, the team just never really recovers, no matter who else is put in place. So we're gonna see if it really works out to the Bucks' favor. But I definitely think Patrick Beverly has a point. But leave any comments in the comment section if you do, if you think the same, and we'll talk about it.